Hey everybody, Dark Young Link here, and today we're going to be talking about The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild and its placement in the timeline. Seeing as I've beaten it recently, there will be spoilers ahead, so beware of those. There will also be spoilers of other Zelda games as well. Obviously, this isn't going to be 100%, and it's more of a theory than anything else, but I think it'll be a fun topic to talk about. Starting off, I'll be putting the official timeline on screen so we can look at it. Now, personally, I wasn't a big fan of the official timeline when it came out, because Nintendo made an official third split after Ocarina of Time, where Link fails by dying or something like that. Which would have been fine if they made an ending sequence after Link dies showing the world in turmoil, like how in Banjo-Kazooie, the game over sequence shows Banjo's sister trading ugliness with Grunty. With that said, it is told that Calamity Ganon has attacked Hyrule multiple times. That means that it couldn't be in the adult timeline because he only attacked twice. Once being in Ocarina of Time, and the other being in Wind Waker. It could have taken place in the child timeline because Ganon attacks 3 times, in Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, and Four Swords Adventures. That's 3 out of 3 times, but let's look at the last timeline where Link dies. One of the major topics in Breath of the Wild is that Ganon attacked 10,000 years ago. That places this game very far into the future. What if the Ganon attack from 10,000 years ago prior was in Ocarina of Time and that's when Link died? It wouldn't be until Link to the Past where another Link would rise up and take down Ganon. Ganon then returns again in Oracle of Seasons and Ages if you link the games together, which is considered the true ending. Ganon doesn't really appear in Link's Awakening besides a shadow showing Link's fear, which, assuming it's also Link to the Past Link, Ganon would probably haunt him in some way. Then that Link goes missing for whatever reason or dies, and Ganon comes back a 4th time, 5th time if you count the Oracle games as 2 separate games, and brings real destruction to Hyrule, which is why it's in ruins in Zelda 1. Then that Link wins and Zelda 2 happens, where Link stops Ganon from coming back again.
What does all this have to do with the timeline of Breath of the Wild?
You probably ask. Well, as we can see, Ganon comes back more times in the failure timeline than the rest of them. Meaning we got our timeline, right? Maybe. There's a few things that support this. For example, there are some ranch ruins in Breath of the Wild that are almost identical to Lon Lon Ranch in Ocarina of Time. There's a few more parallels to Ocarina of Time as well. So obviously with the flooding of Hyrule, it couldn't be in the adult timeline, right? Well, there's one problem. The names of some of the locations. There's a Linebeck Island, and Linebeck appears in Phantom Hourglass and Spirit Tracks, aka the adult timeline. And what about the Rito? They were introduced in the adult timeline. There's even theories that the Rito were Zoras who evolved after the flood, but we can clearly see that Zoras and Ritos are living together in the same world. What if the Rito were actually people of Skyloft who never went to Hyrule? That's a theory for another day, though. Back to the topic at hand, where does Breath of the Wild go in the timeline? It can't go in the adult timeline because of the flood and the lack of Ganon attacks, but it has references to it. While the child timeline is possible because of the references to Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess. Zelda herself says, whether skyward bound, adrift in time, or steeped in the glowing embers of twilight. Wait, what? That's perfect then! It shows Skyward Sword, which is before Ocarina of Time, and Twilight Princess. It's perfect! We found it! We found where Breath of the Wild takes place in the timeline. But at the same time, no. It too lacks the amount of Ganon attacks. And while the last timeline where Link fails has a greater chance of being the timeline because of those Ganon attacks, and it has some of the same layouts as Ocarina of Time, there's still a lot of evidence that goes against it being the failure timeline. So now what? What if it doesn't fit in the timeline? Allow me to present another possibility, if you will. What if it goes in all 3? What if somewhere down the road the timelines merge? I know it sounds crazy, but what if New Hyrule that's founded in Spirit Tracks is actually Hyrule in the original Zelda? If the timelines merge, it would explain Ganon's attacks time after time. It would also explain why the Rito and the Zora all live in one place. Who's to say the goddess Hylia isn't powerful enough to do something like that if it means for the true hero to destroy evil? That's just my take on it though, and I'm curious to know what everyone else thinks about the topic. What timeline does this game go in? Is it possible that the timelines merge? Will Nintendo actually ever tell us? Let me know what you think in the comments. Anyway, thank you all for watching. If you've enjoyed this, let me know and maybe I'll make more Zelda theories in the future, like how the Rito are really the people of Skyloft. Until then, you can check out my Let's Play of Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past here, or my other Let's Play of Legend of Zelda Minish Cap. If Zelda isn't your thing, which would be odd since this is a Zelda-related video, you can check out my Pokemon Fire Red playthrough here. I've been Dark Young Link, and I'll see you guys in whatever I do next. Bye!